Yo, what is good everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today we've got some funny topics or interesting topics to discuss, so let's go ahead and get right into it. And first we're starting off with Dissidia Final Fantasy NT. I did not know, and I actually just researched this information here, but apparently it's been out for a while now, that the game is free to play and you can play it for free in Japan. Guys, there's no other way to say this than this game has been an absolute disaster. It has been an absolute disaster compared to what they did previously in the past with the games on the PSP, because when you're a game that's a full price $60 game and within what, less than a year you go free to play, this is not a free to play style of game. And I did want to go over some of the stuff here and then kind of talk about what Square Enix needs to do, because I think this part of Final Fantasy Dissidia, or what they did with this game, is part of the reason why they had such a bad financial year when it comes to things. So let's talk about it here. So Dissidia Final Fantasy NT Free Edition is now available for the PlayStation 4 via the PlayStation Store in Japan and Asia. Here is an overview of this free edition of the game. So in Dissidia Final Fantasy NT Free Edition, you can play part of Dissidia Final Fantasy NT for free. You can play online and offline battles with 4 characters who change weekly. Some game aspects differ from the full version. The story mode is not available. You must be a PlayStation Plus member to play online multiplayer mode. Free characters will be switched out after a fixed time. If you purchase a character's starter pack, you can use them at any time regardless of the current roster of free characters. Even if you purchase a character, they will still be included in the lineup of weekly free characters. There are 2 types of characters, the 28 from the full version who appear in the weekly lineup for the free edition, and the DLC characters who won't appear in the weekly lineup. Please be aware of this when purchasing starter packs. You can battle online against users from the full version. You can carry over your free edition save data to the full version. So Square Enix has yet to announce the Western release of Dissidia Final Fantasy NT Free Edition, but English trophies have surfaced on Exophase. The Asian version of the game only seems to support Chinese and Korean language options, so there is a trailer that you guys are going to be watching as well, or already saw. And like I said before here, guys, this is not a free to play type of game. The fact that they're having to do character packs, DLC with this, and all they've got is 28 characters. Just think about this. We just had Super Smash Bros. Ultimate launch with 74 characters included in the package without DLC, and the DLC was being worked on after the game was complete. This has DLC packs and all this different stuff here with this free edition that they're fan-dangling into this. This has been a disaster. Final Fantasy is much bigger and better than this, and Dissidia used to be a big franchise for Square Enix that would do a lot better than it did. We do know back when it launched on the PlayStation 4, it didn't launch with as high as numbers as the PSP versions of the game that came out, because those ones just seemed like they had more content and came more complete. This one just seems to be a mess, and it's very clunky from what I've seen. I used to watch it on Twitch and everything. Very clunky, and from the little that I've played, I did not like it at all. It was as low as $5 on Best Buy this past Black Friday, man. So there's no other way to say this, as this has just been a disaster, and I think Square Enix can definitely learn from this. It's not all bad. They can learn from this in terms of what they need to do for the next Final Fantasy. I know Team Ninja made this one along with Sony, and they had a deal and everything. I don't think that you should just abandon your base of portable players or people who want to play a certain style of game or how they played it because Sony comes a-calling or anything like that, especially when you're going with something with Final Fantasy. And where the big appeal of this game was, a lot of it was Japan. A lot of people really like this game and like to play it anywhere that they want. I'm hoping for the next Dissidia or what they do going forward, because I don't want this franchise to die out. I think Dissidia is a very good franchise, and I played the games on the PSP and they were always a lot of fun to play. I think it's very good, but they need to make sure that they focus on gameplay first and not clunkaroo and graphics, because that's kind of how I feel. What I mean by clunkaroo is the actual controls in the game, just very clunky. They need to focus on controls of the game, making sure that that is solid, and less on, oh my gosh, we have the crispiest spikes on Cloud's head for his hair and stuff like that, because graphically the game is really good, but gameplay and mechanics wise, it's very confusing. weird type of game that I don't think kind of does the franchise justice. I think this is definitely the worst one that I've played, and I've played all 3 of them, and this is definitely the worst one mechanics wise and fundamentally that I've played, to the point where I didn't even want to buy it. I just redboxed it. I have a redbox right there, just went, picked it up, played it for about 2 to 3 hours going through, and I just could not get into it like I could the other games in the franchise. So I'm hoping going forward in the future they say, let's make gameplay a priority and make sure that we can play this game anywhere that we want to for that portable base, so you can get those people that kind of left and said, well, I'm not buying it now, because obviously there was something. Well, PS4 definitely not as high in sales as the PSP was in Japan, but I think that they definitely need to bring it back, or the next game be PS4, Xbox One, and also Switch, or PS4 and Switch. Make sure you kind of get it out there on multiple platforms, but definitely get it out there on the Switch so people can kind of play it anywhere they want, and focus on the actual gameplay, guys. Focus on the gameplay, because this one, there's no reason why the gameplay should be worse than the PSP games, or not quite as good. It should be a lot better. It's on PS4, technically speaking wise, right? It should be a lot better, but I don't really think it is when you compare the gameplay to the previous one. So this has been a disaster for them. When you see a game, a full price title, go free to play, you know that there's something going on. You know that there's something wrong. So what do you guys think about Dissidia Final Fantasy NT's free to play edition? Have any of you guys tried it out? All you need is a Japanese account for your PlayStation 4 to pick it up. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, and moving on to the next topic here, and this is something that I don't usually talk about, but I actually watched a video of Ark Survival Evolved, the Switch technical analysis, because I was curious, because this game just looked so bad. And you guys know I'm not all crazy about the whole resolution and graphics and anti-aliasing and all this stuff, but this looked so visibly bad that I was like, okay. I didn't really talk about it too much, just because Ark Survival Evolved wasn't a game that, you know, that I was really going to play or really cover too much anyway, after kind of just seeing more and looking into the gameplay myself, which I did see on PS4 and Xbox One. I was like, maybe if I can try it out. But then reports and videos started coming out kind of saying that this is probably one of the worst big game ports out there for the Nintendo Switch. That's not like an independent developer. We're not talking about stuff like that, but like big game ports from the PS4 and Xbox One. I saw some of my other Spawncast members talk about the game. I know John over there played it, and I watched this video, and yeah, it looked really bad, but I didn't know about the resolution and all that. It just looked really bad from the screenshots and everything that I saw. So I was like, okay, well, whatever. Well, now the technical analysis has been done from our good old buddies over there at Digital Foundry, and guys, it's even worse than I could have imagined. Like, this is probably the worst I've ever seen a Nintendo Switch game, period. I don't know if there's any other games on the system that are this bad when it comes to resolution and that. I mean, this is just crazy. This is absolutely crazy on this one. You know, I'm okay with 720p. I can play games like that. Obviously, it's better if it's higher, but we're not even close to 720p here, boys. We at literally the 360p to 432p resolution in docked mode. Not portable, where it'd be a little bit better, right? Because it's okay, it's a small screen, maybe it's not too bad, you can deal with it, but no, we're talking about 360p in docked mode. Yo, this runs at a lower resolution than a Wii game normally, than Wii games. This is like a 3DS resolution in docked mode, and on top of that, it gets worse. You think this can't get worse, right? You think that, okay, you're okay, everything is fine. No, Ark Survival Evolved even gets worse on the Nintendo Switch, because when you go into playing in portable mode, it actually dips below 216p. I didn't even know that was possible. This is like before YouTube became big and you started seeing like the HD and all that. This is like below that, like when it's telling you your settings and it has like 144p or something like that. This is in that range. When you look at someone's face and it looks like an 8-bit NES game or something when you're watching videos back in the day on YouTube, this is like that range. I don't even know how it's possible for a developer to make a game that runs at 216p visual quality. If this is right, if this is actually right, I didn't even know that was possible in today's age. This is probably the worst port, and the developers should be ashamed of themselves for putting this out on the market. If this is what you're going to give, you probably shouldn't have done it at all. This is absolutely ridiculous. And like I said, I'm not crazy about resolution. I don't go all hardcore about anti-aliasing like I've said before. And for me, 720p docked and then like 5 something p or whatever they can get it at, I can see if a developer is trying, you know, working with the Switch. Obviously the Switch isn't as powerful as PS4 and Xbox One. You're not going to get the same resolutions when it comes to docked or portable. I mean, sometimes you do, but most of the time you don't, or you have to lower it or remove some things. I get that, and that's fine. Switch is a hybrid. That's what it's built for. It's not built to be this big box that just sits there and sucks up power all day. You know what I'm saying? It's very light and efficient, so you're not going to get the same thing. But at the same time, you can't do 216p. You cannot do 216p. I mean, that is just so bad. That's so bad, and I don't recommend anybody getting this on the Nintendo Switch until they make some efforts to fix it. But based on what I've seen from this game and the other communities talking about it on PS4 and Xbox One, they're pretty upset because they still haven't fixed a lot of the issues with the game then that they said that they were going to fix. And now that they're moving on to another game, I doubt any of this is going to be fixed at all. But 216p is absolutely nuts, and I cannot believe that a game even runs at that on the Nintendo Switch. That has to be the first, maybe the only game that I've seen run at 216p, and it's between 360p and 432p in docked, which is just ridiculous. That's just so bad. Oh God. I mean, if you're playing this on a big screen TV, this is just horrible. So what do you guys think about the different topics that we discussed here, from the horrible port of Ark Survival Evolved on the Nintendo Switch and Dissidia Final Fantasy NT? Oh, I guess there's one good thing I should say about the Ark Survival Evolved port. I guess that it runs somewhat good on the Switch. With the resolution so bad, people are probably wondering, well, how's the frame rate? Well, at least the frame rate is around 30 frames per second with some dips here and there. But oh my gosh, maybe that's about the only somewhat good thing coming out of that whole technical analysis for this game. And yeah, not good, so don't buy it, I guess, right? So what do you guys think about all this news? Let me know your thoughts. Once again, Dissidia Final Fantasy NT completely being botched, free to play now. Give me all that, comment section below. All right, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of PlayerEssence across the internet, in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube live gaming pages and consider supporting PlayerEssence. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Let me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace.